Good morning, everyone. Serotonin. I keep making videos that I didn't intend to make, or I didn't plan on making. I'm obviously intending to make these videos, otherwise I wouldn't make them at all. I just have to talk about what I see right now, and yeah, I want to talk about this. Okay, so I came across this article after I saw this article, and the two of them just put together a whole thing that I would really like to just discuss. Okay, so the main thing here so this headline just was, it was such a grab and punch for me. So Occasio Cortez redefines AOC, her rise best understood through Eagles lyrics. Oh my goodness. I don't think I've had enough coffee yet. Okay, so what I found very interesting, first of all, I just grab and punch because what is, if AOC isn't her initials, then what is it? Okay, so that immediately I was like, what? And the whole thing with the Eagles. Okay, so in my last video, and I'm actually a little bit mad with myself for not having completed the entire video by Really Graceful, because she does do really good stuff about, she has good production when she's talking about, the underlying message in different, things that she discovers. However, I do think, I am very wary of people who have very slick presentations that look like they have money put into it. They look like they're MTV people. I actually wanted to debunk a video that I saw, this guy, Dylan Lewis Monroe, who apparently made the Q map, and there's just so much going on in that interview with these two other guys that are interviewing him, and oh my goodness, there are just so many red flags about that guy and that interview. And just the alternative media has completely been taken over. So make no mistake. Really Graceful does great projects and stuff, but she didn't even talk about child sex trafficking issue that goes on during Super Bowl, which is like the biggest thing. And she's like apparently uncovering the dark secrets of the Super Bowl. Dig a little deeper, because it gets a whole lot darker than what she had put in there. Anyway, so last year during the Superb Owl, the Eagles were allowed to defeat the Patriots because this was a message. The Eagles are representative of the deep state, the people who are losing seriously, are in like a free fall of control. And what I find very interesting is lyrics. Okay, so also try to remember in this, okay, so the Eagles are represented, it is a representation, or it is representative of the deep state. We know this by the two-headed eagle symbol, which is literally prevalent in every society that was sort of taking over different, I mean, it was prevalent in every country that was being taken over. Once the takeover happened, or before the takeover, you'll see this Y head. And it's something that Q mentioned. They keep calling it the Y head. I don't know if it's that, but that's what I think it is. And the family that it's attached to is apparently the Habsburg family, but there's so many different countries that have this double-headed eagle flag. There's so many cultures that have it. I mean, it's all over Indo-America. It's all over basically all of the quote-unquote native cultures. It's in the Middle East. It's in the north of Africa. It's in all over Asia and Europe. So anyway, the Eagles are also the band that wrote the song Hotel California, which is all about basically going to this hotel, as we know, and then you there's all these pleasures, and it's like really decadent, but you can never leave. So it's basically an allegory of Hollywood. So the idea is that you get taken into this hotel, Hollywood, and it's full of all this decadence, but the problem is that you can't leave, just like the CIA, just like, all of these covert places. You can't leave because you know too much. You've seen too much and you know too much, so they're never going to let you leave. So I just found that fascinating because I'm very used to the coding. I am fully used to the coding. I don't know, I'm not going to pretend I know all the coding, but there you go. Okay, so that's the big part of it. So number one. So here she is. So the lyric that best describes her is, they will never forget you till someone new comes along. Somebody new comes along. It's called The New Kid in Town. It makes me think of The New Kids on the Block, which I'm sure was a whole other PSYOP program or whatever. AOC meant something around the halls of Congress for decades. To the uninitiative, AOC stands for Architect of the Capitol. There have only been 11 architects of the Capitol in the history of the Republic. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. We really don't need to know the rest. Oh, except for, hang on a second. AOC shocked the political world last June when she defeated former Rep. Joe Crowley. So I just have a thing with anyone Crowley because of Aleister Crowley, and there's this Sarah Crowley or something on Twitter who is apparently dropping all kinds of truth bombs, but of course she's only really pushed by the people who I believe are being infiltrated in the alternative media anyway. So if pretty much anyone who calls themselves ex-CIA are still CIA. So that is the number one thing. Anyone who interviews someone called ex-CIA who calls themselves ex-CIA is in on it too. So that's just the main rule. I'm not going to name names, but hopefully that should help untangle a few questions you might have if you're wondering who's who. This blew my mind. AOC stands for Architect of the Capitol. There are no mistakes. I don't even think Alexandria Occasio Cortez is even her name. Whatever. All I'm saying is Architect of the Capitol. That means more. Her name being AOC means more to do with this. And they've chosen another high important number in numerology. They love 11, 22, 33. There's all kinds of different numbers that mean something to them. So, number one. Okay, the rest of this is probably just a pile of garbage and you don't really need to read it. The next thing that I would like to bring up is Michael Moore. He has been undercover as a snitch and basically, what's the word I want to, a society driver, basically, forever, okay? I used to think this guy was amazing. Oh, he's just telling it like it is and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so whatever happened to Nike after he called them out for having basically like less than even remotely acceptable factory conditions? Nothing. What happened to Flint, Michigan after he went in there? Oh, their water is still being poisoned 20 years on. This man does nothing for anybody. He's done absolutely nothing for anything. He is an absolute society driver. He is being paid hand over fist by these people. People still think of him as a scruffy old, uncle who's, so harmless, and he's just, he's like Al Gore. He's just telling the world how to be careful and how to just be a better person and look after the planet and blah, blah, blah. Full of fakery. He says everyone knows Occasio Cortez is the Democratic leader. Well, that is a very interesting statement. I wanted to just have a notice here. Now, who does Occasio Cortez remind you of almost to a T? Okay, she stopped wearing the lipstick, but I actually had to Google this. Alexandria Occasio Cortez lipstick. Everybody made such a freaking deal about her lipstick. Lipstick, lipstick, lipstick. Red lipstick is a symbol of change. Oh, just like the red scarves in Paris, the ones that were, oh wait, hang on. Were those the ones that strangled the whistleblowers or the ones that are being paid to divert the yellow vest movement? I don't know. I'm not entirely sure, but watch the red. That's why yesterday in the video that I made about the girl who paid for all of those homeless people to be in the hotel, I made a comment about her wearing the red pants. I don't know, I used to like wearing red clothes too. In fact, actually, I have a weird red spotted shirt on right now. Thing is, when it comes to people in the spotlight, trust me, notice this. In Canada, we have a politician called Chrystia Freeland, and she used to be in the media. She was a journalist, and I use the term loosely. The woman cannot stay away from red, and it's because she's part of the Trudeau cabinet, and she is completely complicit with all of this, the fakery, the pedophilia, all of this stuff. She wears red shoes, red pants, red dresses. She went and picked up that Saudi Arabian girl that basically was rescued by Canada She was coming here for refugee status. She's now on 24/7 watch because apparently she's had her life threatened by Muslims in Canada. And she went to the airport to pick her up wearing red shoes. Now, for those of you watching this video, I really don't think I need to talk about red shoes too much. But I just wanted to point out that Huma Abedin and Occasio Cortez have a very similar look. Now, the other thing we need to remember is that everything is a game. Everything is military. Everything is strategy. I have talked about this before. Everything is hidden in our world. Everyone is, there's a war against everyone pretty much. But also, men are being dismantled left, right, and center. The concept of maleness, the concept of being a man, just being a man, it doesn't matter what color you are, it doesn't matter what, sexual preference you have. It seems to be at this point that men are also under attack. Because apparently of the patriarchy. So this is my thing. There is no real patriarchy. There's the elite that control things, but there is definitely a faction of women who really are running things. And you can look up, what's her name? Christine Marcy. Oh my God. See, this is how much stuff I do on the computer. Look up Christine Marcy and her whole group of people, the Senior Executive Service. This is a woman who basically came up with the state of what the pedophilia trap program is. So they either drug people and they switch their sexual partners halfway through to be someone that would be, obviously a completely different situation, like a trafficked child or whatever, as opposed to the prostitute that they started, the evening with or what have you. This woman is absolutely pure evil, and she runs in circles with the likes of David Cameron's wife, with various Rothschilds, other politicians' wives. These are people who set up the honey trap, so to speak, to make sure that everybody is culpable and on board and blah, blah, blah. So I have a big, big thing about the covens and the witches. And I don't understand why these two incredibly important women and the head of the Democratic Party, like this was, Hillary Clinton's, Hillary, this was her, aide. She got found out way too early. She didn't get to, she was supposed to basically take out Hillary and start running the U.S. Once Hillary got elected, they were going to finally let her Kuru-ridden body rot in hell, and she was supposed to take over. That was the plan. But then Anthony Weiner, being the Weiner that he is, screwed everything up for her, and so now they had to install this absolute disaster. And it's too bad she doesn't have a whole lot of brain cells. Huma Abedin, although is so much, I think she looks really together, so I'm really glad that we have this one instead of her, because she seems a little bit easier to take out. However, the illusion being what it is, maybe she is a lot scarier. But honestly, I'm not comforted by the various facial expressions that they see. They've just taken all the lipstick pictures away. I'm wondering if I'm not the only one who noticed the Cortez Abedin match. But anyway, there you go. Something going on with this. And I don't know if they were worshiping an idol that looked like her. Like, I don't know if it's something to do with the look had to be similar in order for the energy to be transferred. I'm not entirely sure. But there's something going on there. Trust me, I don't know what it is. I just wanted to put this up as well, the Alexandria Occasio Cortez dancing thing. I did actually finally catch a little glimpse of her ridiculous dancing routine. Basically, I think it was just basically, she's a very foolish person. She does not say things that are intelligent, even for people who are not looking to, to figure out what is going on politically. Like, they're just kind of accepting things as they are. She says ridiculous things. I think the dancing thing was in order to get the male vote or the female vote or whatever, the sexual attraction vote. I think that was just a lame play on that. And also, just like, oh my God, what are you going to do? Like, stop us dancing? Like, like as if she's Kevin Bacon or something. It's just so ridiculous. Anyway, I've obviously got a bee in my bonnet today. And then I just wanted to also just, how important the lipstick thing was. They just talked about it and talked about it and talked about it and talked about it. And she can't stop, talking about her lipstick. And what was it? Oh, what was it? Red lipsticks and hoops. Yeah, because she's just trying to, I think she's trying to big up her sort of look. And now, what was it? Her shade of lipstick is sold out. I'm just very interested. So Sephora is one of the companies who uses Cinemax in their lipsticks and makeup. And Stay All Day. I got you. Anyway, very interesting. They're just trying to make her seem really cool and, she's lipsticky. So she can appeal, I think, to a younger crowd of women or men. Because, and the reason I'm saying this is because of the whole Karl Marx obsession. And this is kind of pretty funny, actually. So I looked up Karl Marx in 17 magazine. Actually, it wasn't. It was Teen Vogue. I thought this was really awesome. Yeah, Karl Marx was right. 5 surprising ways he predicted 2014. Yeah, he's just part of the, he's part of the plan. He's part of their, the rule book. It's just so funny. And same with Nostradamus. Please don't tell me about the Nostradamus predictions, because he was a Mason. He was part of it. It just, George Orwell, all of it just, anyway. Who was Karl Marx? And, and I think this as well, and I actually believe that this whole thing here of Karl Marx is the reason that they've really kind of pushed the hipster thing, the boys with their beards, men in their beards. Because if they can't get a bunch of good-looking young men to grow big, giant, puffy beards, then they're never going to make Karl Marx sexy. And this is just the most unbelievable article. I'm going to put it, everything is going to be put in the comment section. I mean, the description box. Anyway, I'm done. I really don't like having a big, rant. It's it makes me feel better at the end of the day, but, I'm just having all that energy in a video where I'm like, blah, 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 whatever. Anyway, I really just had to get this off my chest. I promise I'm going to get back to some other things and the variety of things that I get interested in. But yeah, I had to say something because just interesting things. Anyway, let me know what you think. Am I onto something? Am I missing the point? Blah, blah, blah. I would like to know what you think. Anyway, have a great day. I'm out of here, and God bless and stay warm.